Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kassandra and this is a class to stretch and relax. Great for all levels. Some of the stretches might be a little bit more intermediate, a little bit more intense, but truly there's lots of ways that we can modify, and I'm not using any props for this practice. Let's begin in Balasana, child's pose, and we'll do a wide leg child's pose. So bring your knees far away from one another, big toes together to touch, and try to press your hips towards your heels and lengthen out of your lower back, stretching through the sides of your waist as you fold here. And even though we're reaching our arms out, try to slide your shoulders down and away from your ears. Finding a point of internal stillness. Connecting to your breath. Try to get your inhale to be just as long as your exhale. Relax your chest, your shoulders, your neck, even into your belly and into your hips. And let's start to walk up. We're coming to tabletop pose on hands and knees. We'll take a circular version of cat and cow, something I love to do towards the end of the day. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And like cat and cow, but you're trying instead to trace circles with your hips and with your shoulders. Take 3 of these in one direction. And then you can reverse and go in the opposite direction, trying to keep the elbows straight. And coming back to neutral, let's reach our right leg back, push into your heel with the toes curled under. So getting into the calf and into the ankle. And then go ahead and cross your right foot over towards the bottom left side of your mat. Push into your right hip and look back towards your left shoulder. So big side body stretch. Looking forward, we're going to step that foot through in between our palms, the top of the mat. Right knee is on top of your ankle, and just keep your fingertips on the floor here. Melting your hips forward and down. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. You can push into your right heel in order to straighten that leg. Half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. And I like to curl the right toes back, getting deeper into the ankle, into the calf. Relax your shoulders down. Try to keep your hips squared and facing the top of your mat. And bend into that front foot once more. Tuck your back toes under. And we're going to find our downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And you might want to even step your feet wider here towards the edges of the mat. As you push into your hands, lengthen out through your spine. Making any movements that feel good to you here. Lengthening out. And let's bring our knees down to the mat. Instead of coming into Balasana, child's pose again, let's take our puppy stretch on a hatha asana. Keep your hips over your knees. Stretch your arms out and melt your heart, chest down towards the mat. Notice where your mind tends to go. See if you can let go of your day. Simply focusing on right here, right now. And as you walk your hands in, we'll come back into that tabletop pose and just doing a traditional version of cat and cow this time. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Inhale. Drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round and contract it in. Take a few more like this. Feeling this in your low back, mid back, and upper back. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Coming back to neutral, stretch your left leg back, push into your left heel. Keep your hips squared, lower belly hugging in a little. And then you can overcross your left foot towards the bottom right corner of your mat, push out into your left hip and look over towards your right shoulder. So you're just looking back towards your foot. Big side body stretch. And through to center, we come into our low lunge. Anjali asana. We'll keep our fingertips on the floor for this first variation. Just framing your front foot, letting gravity melt your hips down a little bit more. Try not to use too much strength or effort in this one. Push into your left heel, half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana, folding down. See if you can keep curling the left toes back. Bending into that front knee, we're coming into our downward facing dog. And maybe keep your feet wide for this one as well, if that version feels more nourishing and soothing for your low back and for your hamstrings. Really stretch it all out. And we'll walk our feet towards the top of the mat, coming into Malasana, your yogi squat. So keep your feet wide, but turn your heels in, toes out, sink down towards the mat, hands at your heart. You can push your knees open a little bit wider, pressing your shoulders down and away from your ears. Lengthen out through your spine. And release your hands down to the mat. Come back into a forward fold, but this time bring your feet a little closer towards each other and bend your knees a lot. You're going to cross your right foot behind the left one and roll on the outer edge of that foot. Start to walk your hands over towards the left and push out into your right hip as you fold. This should be a pretty big IT band stretch. Getting into that outer hip and all the way down the side of that leg. And let's go to the other side. Cross your left foot behind the right, roll to the outer edge of that left foot, walk your hands to the right side of your mat, push out into your left hip. And you can bend your right knee, but try to keep your left leg straight. Come all the way back through to center. We're going to push our heels into the ground to roll all the way up to stand, inch by inch. And keep your right leg out in front of you. Find Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So right knee bends, back foot is about parallel to the shorter edge of your mat. Open up and extend through your arms, palms facing down to the floor. And let's reverse, left hand down, right arm up, big side body stretch here. Into your extended side angle, right forearm can go to your thigh or right hand can come down to the floor. Try to roll your left shoulder back, stretching out through the side of your waist. And stay low to the ground. Let your left hand come down to the floor. And we're going to come Skandasana, side to side. Start by bending your left knee first. Right leg is straight. Sink down as low as is appropriate for you here. Deep side lunges. Let's go to the other side. Right knee bends. Left leg is straight. And one more, go all the way to the other side, and we're going to lift up into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, facing the back of your mat. So left toes point forward, right foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat. Arms reach out. Squeeze that knee open. Let's reverse. Right hand down, left arm up. And extend, either bringing your forearm to your thigh or left hand down to the floor. As if you're trying to spin your chest forward and up. Keep circling that hand down. Skandasana again, start with your right leg. So bend that right knee as much as you can, sinking down. Inhale to lift and switch. And this time we're going to pause as we lift up halfway. Turn both feet parallel to the shorter edge of your mat. Wide-legged forward fold. Any arm variation that you'd like here. Take one more big belly breath. And walk your hands up. Bring your hands to your hips so you can push into the floor to rise up, Tadasana, mountain pose at the top of the mat. And let's just take a little soothing flow. Inhale, arms rise. Fold forward and down, Uttanasana. Find your halfway lift, really lengthen and stretch it out. Plant your palms. I'm modifying this flow because this is meant to be a relaxing practice. So knees to the mat first as you lower down. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. And maybe just hold here and add a little sway. Pulling and lifting out of your lower back. And we'll press back, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And keep your feet hip-width distance apart for this one. See if you can get your heels a little closer to the mat. Let's extend our right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Squeeze into your glutes. And we'll step the right foot forward between your palms. Low lunge. We'll add a quad stretch here. So you're welcome to just hang out in this first variation. If you'd like to go further, bend into your back knee and reach back with your right hand to pull it in. So you're rolling your right shoulder back behind you. Carefully release the hold of that back foot. And we're going to straighten the right leg. This time, let yourself sit on your back heel and fold all the way down. And start to walk your hands in, bend back once more into that front foot, and we're going to step it back, downward facing dog. And now re-extend that same leg, right leg goes up again, bend your right knee, open up that hip, and we'll come into our pigeon pose. Slide that knee to the side, kind of behind your right wrist, and square off your pelvis here. Maybe you'd like to work the pose from here, or you can fold on down. We're going to be here for 10 deep breaths. Not using too much effort or strength. Try to relax your upper back, focusing on your slow, steady breaths. And start to walk your hands in. Really take your time here. We'll find our down dog again. Tucking the toes under, making any little movements and adjustments that feel good. The left leg can reach up to the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip. We'll come into our lunge, adding a quad stretch. Your knee is on top of your ankle. And maybe you reach back with your left hand to pull that heel in. Try to press down into your big left toe as much as possible. Carefully release the hold of that back foot. Push your hips all the way back to sit on your right heel, and then fold on down. And get a little heavier in the pose. Now we can start to lift back up. We're coming back to that down dog. Re-extending the left leg up and back, bending it once more. Setting ourselves up for our pigeon pose. Raja Kapotasana. Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. Square off your pelvis, Square off your hips and maybe stay up lifted and tall, or fold on down. 10 slow, steady breaths right here. And let yourself relax a few more moments in the pose. And you can take your time as you lift and rise back. This will be our last downward facing dog. Make any movements that feel nice and nurturing here. And let's just bring our knees down to the floor. Come to take a seat. Into your butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. Instead of folding directly forward, we'll add a little bit of a side bend. So you can stretch and reach your hands out and then crawl your fingertips over towards the left side of your mat and then fold on down. Really extend and reach with your right hand to get into the right side of your low back. Let gravity do most of the work for you here. And you can stay low, just start to crawl your hands over to the other side. This time we're reaching more with your left arm, left hand as you fold on down. Come all the way through to center, and you can lift yourself up a little bit. We'll come from here into more of a diamond pose. So slide the heels out so you have your knees more at a 90-degree angle, and then you can thread your arms under. If that's too much, just keep them on top, folding down. So just changing a little bit the sensation of this fold. And walk your hands in order to lift up. And just bring your feet flat to the floor with your knees bent. You can bring your left hand to the outer right knee to twist. Lengthen through the crown of your head. And second side, right hand to the outer left thigh. And facing forward once more, let's lower all the way down to our belly. to our back. And it might feel good here to draw your right knee in towards your chest and straighten your left leg to the mat. Just a little bit of swaying side to side. You can hold on to the back of your right leg anywhere that is appropriate to stretch that leg up. A little bit of a bend here is perfectly fine. Supta Padangustasana. You can stay in this first variation, or if you want, you can always open it out to the side. I like to reach my left arm out to provide a bit of a counterbalance so I don't roll over completely. And let's bend and release. Switching sides, right leg is straight, pull that left knee in. Maybe a gentle sway. Let's take that hamstring stretch, hand to big toe, although you're just holding on wherever is most appropriate to you here. Not worrying about having the leg super straight. And we can open it up to the side. Right arm can reach out. Try to press down into your right glute so you're not rolling over. And let's bend into that knee. Moving into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Take up space. Shrug your shoulders down and away from your ears, palms facing up to the sky. Come back to any breath rhythm that feels intuitive and comfortable. Relax fully. This is your opportunity to let go of your day, to find peace and stillness. Let yourself be heavy on the floor. Begin to breathe more deeply so that you can move. We're waking back up, and in a really gentle way, you can just turn to one side in a little fetal pose as you cradle your head in your arm. When you're ready, press yourself up. Come to take a seat. With your hands at your heart, close your eyes. And we'll chant Om one time. Inhale to chant, big breath in. Om. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for doing this stretch and relax practice with me. I hope you do feel stretched and relaxed. Please leave me a comment below. Let me know how it went for you. And if you'd like further relaxation, you can do this short meditation right here. Thank you again. Please subscribe, and hopefully I'll practice again with you tomorrow.